Here we are, round 3 of the Treasure Cup. I played against Ace, the mirror match, which, in my opinion, is honestly like one of the grossest mirror matches in the game. Just because, like, and I'm playing a different style of the deck, so like I can't remove the way regular Ace can, and so that can hurt. But I also play bodies that Ace can't easily remove. But of course, hitting with that Ace on the clapback can always hurt. So yeah, it was. It's an interesting game. This was actually a super close one too. So we go ahead, start off with Ezo, super strong start. I accidentally picked up my Don. Need to make sure that boy's rested. We're going to go ahead and pick up a Thatch since we're going second. Nice little 6 curve there. And then opens them up on their Ace turn. They don't really get the max value out of Ace on curve, and you can like Ace back. We go ahead, double Ezo off to a super strong start after their buggy. Just making sure. Big, very important. There's been a number of times in my life where I have grabbed cards that I've already had in my hand and I didn't really need, not realizing it was in my hand. So don't be afraid to look back. Yep, see, just checking again. Because, you know, like, is this really what I want? Obviously, the big thing is, like, Ace. Because, like, an Ace clapback is just so powerful. Plus, like, if they have 5k bodies or anything like that, the 2ks really put in work. And, of course, knowing that this is probably event Ace based off of the buggy, I know that you can have, like, no counter in your hand. So swinging on characters at, like, 2 above could be huge and could possibly cost you your character easily. And then even just like 1k pokes really hurt because again, like your events. The reason why like I kind of built my build the way I did is because like your events work for you, but they don't work for your characters on board. And so if they clear board, it's not great. Go ahead and grab that Flame Emperor. Because again, like now, obviously, if I add it, they have the knowledge of it, but it also creates that dynamic. And so, of course, like the Flame Emperor standoff, because like you can Flame Emperor them at 2, and then boom, knock them to 0, and then it really pretty much puts a lot of pressure on them. So they go 7, leaves them 1 Don. I'm gonna take this 2 free Don to add a card to my hand. Makes sense. Do got to be careful though. I want to stay at 3 or be at 1 because I don't want the Flame Emperor to get the full value. I believe he grabs a Flame Emperor here. Maybe that was the first one. Yeah, he grabs the Flame Emperor here. And so now I have to be conscious of that going into my Thatch turn and playing down a Thatch. Because then I just lose him, and then he cracks me for 8 for free. So I'm going to poke the 5. Definitely feeling Atmos coming down. Makes sense. And then the Atmos is going to get value on a swing. Takes. Usually take the first one. Yeah. We're going to go ahead. Boom. Play an Atmos. And we're going to pass. And with playing Atmos, of course, like next turn, if we didn't want to play into the Flame Emperor, we could go like 5, 5, 5, 6 with all of our characters. But then they, of course, like get to clean them up with the buggy. So there is that. When buggy is definitely a swinger, that was my favorite part of playing buggy, is like if you play buggy first turn, next turn you can go 5, 6. 5 at lead. I'm just going to take it. Again, like 3 or 1 is going to be my sweet spot. I don't want to put myself at 2. And so that's where I'm like kind of considering, do I want to counter out? Because I want to be at 3 or I want to be at 1. Because then it like lowers the value of Flame Emperor. And it's like, you know, do you play Rush Luffy and just crack me for 6? Who knows? As far as I know, I'm the only one really riding the Rush Luffy train in Ace. Previously, I don't think I'd seen it in a list, but yeah, Pel's been super popular. But if it was a Luffy, you could have just smacked it down and played it. But if he plays an Otama, bye-bye goes my Atmos. So, big value there. However, if he wants to use Pel, he does have to commit 1 Dawn, which would prevent him from Flame Embering. So it does create the argument, do I play Thatch? Do I have a Rush Luffy? Can I go 5, 6, 7? And then know that I'm going to get to keep one of those bodies. And then I can like Flame Emperor Pel if needed. Or do I go 3, 3, and go 5, 5, 5, 6? Because I know the Pel can just KO one of my Ezos for free too. We're going to start off with 5, see what we get, see if he takes it, see if he gives us an event, see if he gives us a 1K. Really get a feel for the hand. Boom, gives me a round table. That means they probably don't have any counters, so we're going to go ahead and go 6. To see if he takes it, yeah. So he probably doesn't have a 2K. And then so, like, giving him, like, swinging that 6 is a nice sweet spot because they have to give up 2 cards in terms of, like, events, and they just gave us a round table, which is a pretty powerful event. Especially in combination with that Pel. It'll KO anything. No, it's like, I feel like there might be a Rush Luffy coming down just to generate that instant value on that swing and just go 7. And then also give slightly less value to a Flame Emperor. Because the character's already swung, so he's gotten value. And then trashing him isn't, like, phenomenal. But again, they can easily Otama and then go, yeah. I'm going to play an Ezo, see what we can get. You see a little Fosa there. Grab the Fosa. I think that was the only target. Saw an unblockable Luffy in there too. Fosa's okay. It's better now that obviously Marco's gone. Go ahead and pay 1. Another Ezo. Can go ahead, pay for, play another Atmos. That Don's tapped, obviously. I just like moved it. Now we're gonna pass. So now they can like remove 1, but probably not 2. But I'm gonna have 7 coming at my face. I've got 1 up, possibly a guard point. They have 8 in hand. I have like 4, 5 maybe. Yeah. But see, like, it costs to remove. So yeah, he reduced both of them. He's going to swing 7 into the 4K to clear both. Oh, he just fire fists it, which I don't know how value that was. So he just gave me, again, like one of the reasons why I like my build just a little bit more, is he just gave me 4 cards to remove 2 cards of mine. One of which has already generated value for me. He's got 2 Dawn left, and you should have 4 cards in hand. And I've still got 3 swingers. We got like slightly confused on what Dawn we were at. I said 8 when I was at 6, and I was like, wait. He was like, wait, let me make sure, because he should be at 7, which is like the Flame Emperor turn. And he paid 1, 2, and then 3 for the Fire Fist, so he's at 2. Yeah, now he pops an Ezo. I think 7 at most popping would have been stronger, because you get to keep that 3 Dawn, and you get to keep 2 cards in your hand. And you still would have cleared my board. Or I guess like it would have been very expensive for me to counter. Because then you could just Dawn 1 on buggy, swing 4. I'll take it. And then possibly a 6 at my face. 5 at lead, probably leaving up an event. Definitely want to counter out of this, but again, like that 7, like that 8 is a Machina. Oh, buggy. Big on the buggies. But yeah, I mean, each one of those buggies are a swinger. You Dawn up 2, 5, 5, 5 is going to eat cards. Seaquake, big fan. That's why I still run one. You draw. We're at 8 now. We could Flame Emperor and push to put him at 1. I'm just checking the trash, seeing how many 2Ks we've got. Yeah. So all events. He's played nothing but no counter cards from his hand. Probably not rocking a ton of counter. So like 5K swings are pretty powerful because they're just going to eat events. But also swinging at the board is pretty powerful. I can play an ace and then go 3 because I have 8 at the Pel. And then like go 8 to the face. Yeah, we're going to play 7, play the ace because ace is going to generate instant value. And again, like he has to give up an actual character to protect the Pel. And then I can go 5 and 7 at his face. And if I put him at 2, gives me a perfect opportunity to Flame Emperor. Pretty much makes it where he has to Flame Emperor to get rid of the ace. I might just go 5. Yeah, I might not even use the E-Zone and keep the Dawn just that way I can stop the Flame Emperor attack. 7 at the face. Because I don't want it to connect at 2. I want to be at 1, or I don't want it to connect. I want to be at 1 or 3. 1 or 3. Because then it's draw 2. But when it puts me at 0, it forces me to play out a blocker. But with the removal that ace has, it's quite possible I lose him. So, go ahead. We swing that 5. They take it. No trigger. I've got 1, possibly a guard point. Got 8 in hand, maybe. And they've got very few. Maybe 6 after this. And they're at 9. So they could go at 10 Flame Emperor. Or they could play an ace. And then go like 4, 4, 5, 7 at my ace. The downfall is if he Flame Emperors me, then I Flame Emperor back. I don't have a gigantic target for them. But again, the ace has already generated me value with the swing and dealing a life. Flame Emperor, yep. 9. And then I think I just go guard point. And that's why I left the Dawn up the last turn, was like a guard point and a 2K. And then if they don't have Machina, they can't make another swing. Yeah, paying the 1. Because it's like, do I want to go down to 0? But it's like, yeah, it doesn't put me in a good spot to be at 0. So we guard point and a Machina at 2K. My least favorite 2K to discard, so it's probably my only 2-Quake. Yeah, and he Seaquakes and Ezo, that's fair. It's got 4 in hand. 2 life. And I can use this Ezo for a swing. So I could just go like 7, 9, leave 1 up. I can play another ace. Another Luffy. Do a Luffy, go 7, 7. We're going to poke 7, see what happens. Take it. Again, another sign it's probably just all events that they have as far as combo goes. Mapping out a 7 right there. Could be another ace just coming down to poke another 7. Of course, playing those non-counter cards in your out of your hand is huge as opposed to playing like a body that has counter. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and play another ace. Minus the bug is. And just go another 7. And this will really give us a good idea of like what they have. And 1 Dawn's still active if I wish to use it for counter. It's got a 2k and then a 1k. Also, like, you know, me and a lot of other ace players may play like that. It is correct to discard the event first. I actually had a judge tell me that. All my opponents were very cool. But they did mention you're supposed to discard the event first, since it technically it happens before like the actual counter. And so you have to discard the event and then any character combos. I have a habit of like discarding both at the same time, just something to be aware of. If somebody did want to call a judge, you don't want to get caught on that because they would be technically correct. They're just going to try to eat away my hand, go 5s, it seems. We, of course, want to leave that life where it is. So we're going to easy 1k, but it's like, what do I want to give up? I do have that Thatch still, so maybe Thatch comes down, I believe. Trying to calculate, you know, is there another Flame Emperor that's just going to come down? And after that, you know, like, because sometimes you'll fish. My favorite thing to do is, like, do, like, a 6. We go ahead, use the event, because I'm not going to use my Flame Emperor. They're at 1 life, less value. Now, however, if they do have a blocker, I could very much regret that, because this will pop, like, the Marco blocker, and then let you, of course, go in towards the face. Which is another power. Like, my first game with yellow, I popped a Brûlée. Like, I could have popped an 8k, but I popped the blocker just to make sure I could go for a connect. And then, you know, really just put that pressure on. So it isn't always correct to just pop the biggest character if, like, it can put you in a position to, like, win the game. Sometimes it's better just to, you know, like, keep the blocker going, connect with their board. I'm going to pay 7, play an ace. Yep, get a minus. Five at my ace, easy 2k. I definitely want to keep that body because I can go for game next turn if I can. Based on my thinking, it's got me wondering, do I have the cards in my hand to do it? He's got 3 in hand. I'm like, what do I want to do? 5 into 4. I think I only have 2 1Ks. It very well could be 2 1Ks. And then I'll have to event on the ace. Maybe I just lose him and I go in with my leader and Ezo. That might just have to be the move. I don't know what's in my hand. But I could, like, go 9 and then possibly 9 if I have events. Of course, this body just really puts me in their free 7k swing to fish. And if they give you, like, 3 events, you can just go, like, 7 and then all in on lead. So if I can protect this body, I'm 100% am going to. And it's, like, probably just calculating that 7 swings. It's probably going on my ace. And he's still got 1 Dawn that he can attach on the Bouge and go 4 at the ace. And so it's like, okay, like, are they leaving up an event? If so, do I still win? Are they going to go 4? Could they have played the ace first and gone in with the buggy Absolutely. Yeah, 2-1Ks. Both of my blockers there. Two very powerful cards. 7 ace. I believe this is a radical beam. Yes. I have 2 cards left in my hand. 2 cards. He goes 4 with the buggy. I know, I remember I do not have any counter here, so this ace is going to die. And I'm like, well, what do I do now? Because like, if he comes at me next turn, I've got 2 cards in my hand. So 5, 5, that eats both of those, and you still have 5, 5, 7, and plenty of Dawn to work with. So I'm pretty much here like, I need to win this turn. 10 Dawn. I'm like mathing it up. Drew for turn. I have 3 cards. It's like, okay, like this is super important. How do I not mess this up? Because if one attack doesn't connect, it's over for me. But I do believe I have a rush Luffy. So I could go 7. And if he gives me like 3 cards, I could play a Luffy. I could play a Luffy, go 6, and then discard from my hand. And it's like, well, do I just play the Luffy? Because like Luffy is technically the same, like 5 for whatever. And I discarded both my blockers, so he can't even like do like jump swings. He can be very honest with his swings, and it pretty much says that I have no 1 counter in my hand. The fact that I didn't save the ace. So I'm just like, okay, I have to win. I'm like, do I go play 6, play Luffy, and go 7? And then so ace is just 7 for 7. And then we're gonna minus all of his characters, and I think we just clean up this board maybe, and limit him to 2 attacks, and then just try to win on the next turn. Or I can go 7, 5, 7, and then I go 7 at lead. So he's at 6 on the leader. And now I'm like, okay, what do I do? I've got 2 cards in my hand. He's got 6 on the leader. I can go 8 with my lead. I can't do a 5 poke with Izo either to try to eat a card. But I could have gone 7 with Izo. It's possible I have a Makino as well. I could have gone 7 with Izo for 5 Dawn and still had 5 Dawn to work with. Gotta take out one of the buggies. And then I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay, well, like, if he has Flame Emperor, it could be the end of me, because then he'll go 5-8, and that could just be all she wrote. I pretty much either have to go for game, or I need to clear this ace. I need to make sure that I clear it. But maybe just 5. 5 was probably, yeah. We're going to go 9. Yeah, he could only get up to 8. I thought he would leave up for the guard point, but he didn't. But I could have gone if I wanted to go 7. But like I played the ace because once I was committed to the Izo, I couldn't clear board. Only reason was because I was like, okay, well, like I can swing like 6 on the ace. Then he has 3 bodies, 3 swings to try to end me. And I hopefully have some counter in my hand. And I just, in the end, just opted to go for it. And it just so happened to work out because ace can get very clunky with the events. So, but yeah, shout out my opponent for playing ace. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to watch the rest of my games and also check out my